Just the same. Aren't you getting tired of it? Now, I know how this video is going to come off. People are going to say you're on the payroll of Top Rank. You're on the Bob Arum payroll, but I'm a realist. Bob Arum promoted Muhammad Ali, Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler. And as I said in a recent video, I actually gave the definition, but I've used the term a lot. I'm a realist. So, looking at the facts and the past events, I asked myself, okay, he's an 83-year-old man. He's not squeaky clean. For example, he had an issue in the mid-90s with bribing for sanctioning fights. So, Bob Arum is no angel, I admit. But I asked myself, well, what reason does he have to stop the fight? Meaning, it's widely circulated around the internet that Bob Arum is stopping the fight. He's stopping the fight. Now, purses have reached upwards to $200+ million. So, I'm thinking to myself, A-side Floyd Money Mayweather, I just honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I just can't look at the fact that, I can't look past the fact that there's so much money on the table. I'm trying to picture with what $100 million looks like. And I'm thinking to myself, if someone told me that I had to get in there with Kid Dynamite Mike Tyson for $120 million, I'm going to go a little crazy because I'm going to think in my head like, oh shit, all I got to do is get in there for 36 minutes for $120 million? Knowing that I'll probably be dead in round one. But it's just like $120 million. And we know the money is there. So I'm thinking, how is he stopping the fight? By not stepping aside. By not stepping aside to allow his fighter, his recently signed fighter, Manny Pacquiao, to work with Mayweather Promotions, and I'm guessing allow Manny Pacquiao to take some low amount of money, or I just don't know. Now, it's just like a woman. You can't take a woman seriously if she has a biased opinion. It's just like if you ever cheat on a girl before, and then you get back with her. She's still always going to think in her head, like every time you look at a woman, you know. So I guess what I'm saying is this. We're hearing the same thing over and over and over again. Bob Arum just needs to step aside and the fight can happen. I don't know how to keep arguing this fact. Is that, and maybe it's the promoter in me, but I'm not going to allow my fighter just to... Floyd Mayweather has a biased opinion towards Bob Arum. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather feels that if he had met Al Heyman earlier in his career, he would be a billionaire. Floyd Mayweather feels that Bob Arum was holding him back. So it's not necessarily from a business standpoint that, or for the benefit and for the better of the fans, that Mayweather wants Bob Arum to step aside. He just doesn't want Bob. He wants to get over on Bob Arum in some type of way, and Bob Arum is just not going to allow it. As I said, Bob Arum is not. He's not a stand-up guy. If that's the best way to describe it. I'm not saying that this old man is a saint. I'm not saying that, but I'm just being a realist, and I'm looking at the situation and I'm thinking, okay, Manny Pacquiao was knocked out cold by Juan Manuel Marquez and could be killed if he fights Juan Manuel Marquez in the 5th fight. But Bob Arum has been trying to get that fight. In 2014, HBO is the network of the year by many media outlets and publications. Majority of those fights were Top Rank fights. Top Rank has, I would say, maybe a quarter of the fighters that Heyman Boxing Showtime has, or access to. So when I'm looking at just with that limited roster, they were able to put on so many of these great fights. And when I say great fights, some of them may have been boring, like Bradley Chavez, but these fights were meaningful. When you get Cotto versus Sergio Martinez, meaningful. Pacquiao Bradley too, meaningful. Ruslan Provodnikov versus Castillo, that wasn't meaningful. But if you're a boxing fan, you know what I'm getting at. And I just think to myself, it's like, how do you allow someone to stop you from getting that much money? Now, I did a video talking about the negotiation process and how that each side wants to try to find some type of way to get over on the other side. That's just how it works. All the way down to when it comes to something as little as, you know, the banner, whose name is going to be, you know, the more highlighted on the actual banner, you know, like stuff like that. Who's going to have more, like, you know, like little shit, like who's going to have more commercials, you know, who's going to do more interviews, you know, like, and negotiating for a, look at mouth is fucking, nose is running, Lord knows. You have to understand, like, I think to myself, I really, like, literally, like I'm telling you, I really look at $100 million. I try to envision it, and I try to think, like, what if there was $100 million in this room right now, actually $100 million bills? Would I be drowning in dollar bills? It's a lot of dollar bills. And I try to think, like, if I lined the floor with $1 bills, not on top of each other, but in a nice little pattern, how many before it reaches my height? You know, shit like that. So I think it's easy work for Floyd Mayweather to defeat Manny Pacquiao, right? Easy work. So if it's easy work, why would you stop? I mean, okay. So let's say if there's $200 million in the pot. I feel Floyd Mayweather will want to give Manny Pacquiao 25 or 40 million. Nobody that ever fought Floyd Mayweather ever made nowhere near that type of money before. But Floyd Mayweather would make upwards to 180. You know, maybe like 160 to 180. Now, 70-30 split is what I've heard. 70-30 split. It's been agreed on. 70-30, you're going to say Pacquiao's probably going to make something like $60 million, 66, I believe, something like that. I forgot. But if this fight doesn't happen, it's no way I can blame Bob Arum unless something comes up like the drug testing, and which I know you want me to talk about. Well, Freddie Roach, listen. I'm not getting all that shit. I got tunnel vision. I see $100 million. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not letting nobody stopping me from getting to that money. Each time Floyd Mayweather has retired, and this is true, he's went into debt as far as with the IRS. So, literally, he's retired twice. He went into debt with the IRS twice. So, I'm thinking, 36 minutes. 36 minutes. And it's easy work. You can easily beat him. 36 minutes, $100+ million. How? In 36 minutes, you can make nearly 60%, maybe even more of your current, 3-year Showtime contract. You know, 6 fight, you know. So it's hard for me to believe that it's like, how am I as a person? As a person, you know, supposed to think like, yeah, you know, like, you're not scared. You know, or it's about how. It's not logical for me to think like it's his fault. Bob Arum, shit, yeah, fuck him. You know? Fuck Bob Arum. Like, he ain't gonna, what? He only want to give you, they only want to make you make $120 million. Nah, you should get 180. Fuck that shit. Now, I know Floyd Mayweather is a side. I know, in my opinion, 65-35, 70-30. I'm fine with that. But if this fight doesn't happen, and all the terms were agreed on, as I know, as it's been relayed to me. All terms are agreed on, and if Floyd Mayweather doesn't accept that money, then he is scared. It's just no way, because I'm not going to be the type of guy that's going to be saying, well, it's Bob Bam's fault because this and all that. Unless Bob Bam says, listen, well, it can't happen because we're going to build this stadium. We're going to build this super stadium in 3 weeks. Unless he starts saying shit like that again, I'm not trying to hear it. People say, well, see, look, he's stopping the fight. He put fights on Cinco de Mayo before. Now he's saying the fight can't happen on that date. It's called trolling. On the internet, it's called trolling. You know damn well him and all the people, he's not just by himself. He's got a staff. You know damn well all them people know he put fights on that date. They just fucking with Floyd. That's what that is. They're just fucking with him. Saying like, yeah, you know, like it belongs to the Mexicans. Like just, you know, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. But I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Boxing news, rumors, gossips, interviews, post-fight conferences, weigh-ins. I do it all. There's some major advancements going on. You know, I'm getting sick of talking about it. I just want to make sure I get everything done. So I just say there's a reason why you subscribe to this channel. There's a reason why you've watched my evolution from then until now. 2015 is the year. If Mayweather versus Pacquiao happens, I'm there. Or either if Canelo versus Cotto happens, I'm there. Even if I have to give up those 2 months of my life. Let's say if one is in April and one is in May, I'm covering them both. It's unlikely, but I'm just saying. T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live.